Central Independent School District to order and welcome you all here this evening. We appreciate y'all waiting patiently until 6:30 so we could start the meeting and accompany us to go to channel. With that, Ms. Barrientos, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Del Brazil. Present. Victor Garza. John Massingill.
Here.
James Mulkey.
Here.
Here. Monique Presses. Here. Steve Bryant.
Here.
Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to agenda item 2, per the pledge. Mr. Toscano, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to call up Ms. McCulloch, Principal of Heritage Middle School. Get us started this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Toscano, Mr. Bryant, school board members. It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I do want to showcase 2 of our programs at Heritage, our AVID program and also our choir program. So we're going to start off with AVID. And I have Gage Duffin, 8th grader, who's going to be leading us in the prayer. Madeline Kniper, 6th grader, who's going to be leading us in the pledge to the American flag. Brandy Castillo, 8th grader, pledged to the Texas flag. And Kevin Rodriguez, 8th grader, and Natalie Goddard, 8th grader, who will be reading a couple of their speeches in thanks to you guys for all of your support throughout the years. So I'm going to start off with Mr. Duffin.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you with grateful hearts for the school district we learn and grow in. Thank you for the supportive community and administration who encourages all of our endeavors and is constantly seeking new and innovative ways to provide the best for us, generation after generation of learners. In Matthew 18, you said, whenever 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, you are with them, Lord. Now blessed we are together today in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Hello, school board members and community. My name is Kevin Rodriguez, and I am an avid student and National Technology Starting Member at Heritage Middle School. It is a great pleasure having the opportunity to speak to you tonight as a representative of our HMS AVID program. We appreciate the support provided to AVID throughout the district. AVID has encouraged many students to create goals for the future that are attainable and teach us goals to be more active in our learning. Some of the activities we have learned to create our academic success are calculating our grade point averages and creating SMART goals to be continuously successful in all content areas, even in our electives. Tutorials have helped us greatly, providing help in our classes by learning to ask specific questions, reflect on our own work, and take better notes. Thank you for supporting such an important program that has provided experiences such as Constitution Cafe, where real-world situations, problems, and real-life issues have given us, young adults, a voice to discuss in a safe and protected environment. College Quest help us to see our academic future of attending colleges and universities as reality. Lasting career quests, such as the one I attended, a tour of Toyota, provides a personal experience to fields of interest we didn't know existed.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Goddard, also a representative of the AVID program at Heritage Middle School, but I also represent band, athletics, FBLA, and UAL. Without your encouragement and support, programs like humanities, UAL, athletics, choir, theater, art, band, and NJHS, just to name a few, would not be possible. UAL provides year after year academic advancement through opportunities outside of the school days to compete and grow our skills. in ways such as speaking, acting, speech writing, and delivery, and various science, math, and social studies content knowledge competitions. Our band experiences have given us the opportunity to become experts at our own instruments. Many of our band members, currently 7 at Heritage, 2 students from Legacy, and 3 from the high school, have auditioned and made the San Antonio Youth Wind Ensemble, band that consists of individuals in 7th grade through sophomore in college, an advanced environment in wind and percussion performance. This is a phenomenal compliment to the band program in our district. Our humanities students have competed and received grand awards in History Fair and Odyssey of the Mind competitions. We have been extremely blessed to have a new track and gym flooring on our campus. This provides an optimal environment for our students' continuous achievements in athletics. Athletic program opportunities continue to expand with the district from dance, powerlifting, golf, and swimming. Thank you, school board and community stakeholders, for always doing whatever it takes for students to be safe, respectful, and responsible in all behaviors and paving a way for continued academic success.
These are just a few of our great students at Heritage, so thank you to those. And thank you, school board, for our AVID program and for helping us to expand our AVID program to even more students next year. And so now we want to showcase our fine arts choir kiddos. Come on up. So they are led by Mr. Cobb, Randy Cobb, who's been with the district, and he just said he was older than dirt. So I'm not sure how many years that was, but we have Brenda Cabrera, 7th grader. Can you wave, Brenda? Leslie Garza, 7th grader. Sterling Ott, 7th grader. Allison Clark, 8th grader. Bethany Cobb, 8th grader. And our birthday girl today, Trinity Moon, 8th grader. They're going to perform a song, Colin Ray song, In This Life for you. Hope you enjoy it.
For all I've been blessed with in my life.
Thank you, Mr. Cobb. Kids, parents, would you please stand up and be recognized? We wouldn't be able to do all of this without your help and support throughout the school year. And I did fail to mention Ms. Stuffin, our AVID coordinator for the campus, and the mom, so thank you. We have a little goodie bag for each of you.
You make one for me? She did not make one for me. I just got the high side. If there's candy in it, that would not, but it's okay. Mr. Cullen, thank you very much for bringing that group of students to start our meeting. And Mr. Cobb, as usual, it's a pleasure to hear your students perform. Y'all were unable to see Mr. Cobb while he was directing, but I had the pleasure of watching his face as he enjoyed his students performing for y'all. It's obvious that he enjoys what he's doing, and we appreciate everything that you do. There's not much better way to start a meeting off than to have our kids come up and perform for us. And for those of you who are in the audience who are members of our staff, please know that these kids are your fault. They are engaged, they are academically achieving, they're involved, and that's exactly what we're looking for in an East Central student. And these kids are going to be very, very successful. So thank you very much for bringing them here this evening. We're going to move into awards. Then we're going to take a short break and let everybody who needs to go do homework out of here while we continue our business. So if you bear with us for a little bit, Mr. Toscano will have some awards this evening.
Yes, sir. Trustees, I'd like to call this up. We do have a couple of folks that we would like to recognize this evening.
All right, thank you, Mr. Toscano. Good evening, President Bryant and school board members. At this time, we would like to call up Dr. Claudia Garcia, who was named the SADE, which is the San Antonio Area Association for Bilingual Education Administrator of the Year. So we're really proud of her, and we want to give her a big round of applause for that. Administrators in the city, she was the administrator of the year. Wow. Oh, yes. And Dr. Garcia, would you like your family to please stand up so they can be recognized? Next, we'd like to call up Ms. Lee Berry, who is a very proud ECISD bus driver. And it came to our attention that she is extremely amazing with our kids. And we were asked to recognize her tonight, and we completely, once we heard about her, really agreed with calling her up and recognizing her for her loyalty. The district value that we're recognizing her for is loyalty. And an employee who is recognized for loyalty consistently exhibits exceptionally strong support and allegiance and faithfulness to commitments and or obligations to students and co-workers in the district. Their attitude of devoted attachment and affection for students and the district is clearly outstanding. And anyone who knows Ms. Berry, from what I understand, knows that she loves her job and loves her kids, and they love her. And so we would like to thank you, Ms. Berry, and recognize you for your extraordinary loyalty to our students and our district. We appreciate you very much.
Well, I just wanted to share, I nominated Lee because I read a story that she posted about receiving some beautiful flowers from one of her students, and she's always saying how wonderful they are, and they give her little wildflowers and make her day. And then she said she sprung a
Rear evacuation.
from the bus, and their time is wanting to be 2 minutes, and they made it in 1:23 seconds. So she put that on Facebook with friends, and she was so very proud. She says she's got the best job in the world and best students in the world, and she loves being a bus driver. So I just had to recognize her.
Is here, so if Miss Berry's family, the Berry family wants, I'll stand up and be recognized. Thank you.
So trustees, we've got a couple of other folks that we'd like to recognize this evening. We're pretty excited. It's a really exciting time in the district. As you guys know, we've been in a very aggressive search to replace our athletic director as well as our football coach, and we're very fortunate and excited tonight to bring those folks to you tonight formally. And so I'd first like to start by introducing our athletic director, Mr. Tony Trevino, who comes to us from Corpus Christi ISD by way of Uvalde and Smithson Valley, and we're really excited about the future of Hornet Athletics under his leadership. So Coach Trevino, welcome.
I'll be brief, but I do want to extend my thank you, Mr. Toscano, to you as superintendent, Mr. Bryan, President Bryan, and the rest of the board of trustees. This is not an assignment that I take lightly. We're about to invest our family in East Central ISD for a long time to come. This is a long-term situation for us. I want you to understand that my goal is to lead the athletic department with integrity and always do what's right for kids. And that's not, I realize what you're entrusting me with, and it's not something that I take lightly at all. So please know that I'm very glad to be here and fortunate to be part of the East Central family. Thank you very much.
So the next young man we're really excited to present to you today is our new football coach. Coach Joe Hubbard's coming to us from Garland ISD, and prior to that he spent a little time with the Dallas Cowboys in marketing and player personnel, and prior to that he played at the University of Texas, I believe, for Coach Mac Brown, and prior to that he grew up in a little town called Hooks, Texas. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That is correct. He shared with me that that's in part of Texarkana, about 2,500 folks in the small town, and I got a sense that he was raised right, and that's what we want for our kids and our community, and I believe that we have very shared values, and we're super excited to present Coach Joe Hubbard to you tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toscano, President Bryan, the rest of the board members. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today to share in this great community. My wife went to school at East Central High School, and who in the world would have ever thought that I would get the opportunity to come here and be your head football coach. But I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited to share in your kids, and we just love children. We love trying to help them be better than what they are today. And just look for us to go out and have a good football team. And we're looking for you guys to come out and support us and help us win a bunch of football games. Thank you so much.
I noticed that there's some folks here tonight that I believe are with you. Do you mind introducing those folks to us?
No, sir, not at all. First of all, I'd like to introduce my wife, Jasmine. And then we have 5 young children. Joe the fourth, he's right back there in the back. He's 9, and then Jackson sitting right up here at the front, he's 8. And then Jarrett and Jordan, they're 6-year-old twins, boy-girl twins. And then my baby girl, Genesis, she's 3 years old. So I'm happy to have them here. And then my mother is here with me today. She flew in to see me, and I really appreciate that. My 2 brothers, Michael and Derek, who are here to support me. I have another brother that he couldn't make it. He's a football coach as well. And then my mother-in-law, Miss Etta Reed, she's right back there. And then my sister-in-law, Miss Nicole Reed, she's back there. And then my nephew, Jay. And then my niece, Jade. So we have a whole Jade crew. Yeah, we brought them all, but guys, again, we're so excited to be here with you guys and cannot wait to become a huge part of this community. Just like Tony said, we're excited and we want to be here for a long time. We want to build a program that is known not only in this city, but in this state. So thank you guys so much.
Well, Coach Trevino and Coach Shepard, we welcome you to our family. We appreciate you introducing us to yours, and Coach Trevino, we look forward to meeting your family in the near future as well. Welcome to East Central, and we hope to have a very long and fruitful relationship with your staff. So, with that, we are going to take a short break and let everybody who needs to go do homework, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes and start our business meeting. agenda this evening, I have no public comments. So we will move on into superintendent's reports, upcoming events.
Yes, sir. Trustees, a few items I'd like to point out in your April, May, and June calendar. You know, this time of year is banquet season, concert season, so we've got a lot of events on the calendar. Tomorrow is the school holiday, and our band will be marching in the day parade. So if you're there, look out for the Mighty Hornet Marching Band. On Tuesday of next week, we have a goal-setting workshop. We'll be here in the boardroom starting at 5:30, and dinner will be, we do move it to the classroom? Okay, thank you, Mark. So it will be in the classroom, and dinner will be provided. Moving on to next Thursday, our one-act play, our theater group actually will be presenting their one-act play program. Actually, the sub-varsity and varsity. The sub-varsity will be doing A Midsummer Night's Dream, and the varsity will be doing their UIL competition piece titled As You Like It, which advanced to the area competition for the second year in a row. The program has done that, and they've grown significantly, as you know, well over 160 students in our theater program. And then next Saturday, Floresville Event Center, this year's junior senior prom. Moving on to the 25th, starting on the 25th, you'll see early voting marked on your calendar. Early voting runs from the 25th through Tuesday the 3rd. In your connected to your calendar, you'll see 2 sheets of paper, one yellow, which is information about all of the early voting polling sites, as well as the purple, I believe that's purple, document, which is the election day, May 7th, voting information. So that's for your reference, for you to share in your local community as you see fit. Also in May, I sent an email to you guys earlier in the week about a TASB Go Public Business Education Forum that will be held from 9 to 3 on the 5th at the Northside Event Center on Calabro. So if you would like to attend that event, if you're able to attend that event, I can take care of registration for you. There is a light breakfast and lunch provided. Again, May 7th is Election Day. And then moving on to the 11th, Wednesday, our annual Superintendent Student of the Month reception at Heritage Middle School from 6 to 7. Again, that's where every student and their family who've been nominated as a Student of the Month at their respective campuses are invited from pre-K to 12th grade. Really wonderful event. Spring show on the 12th and 13th, you'll notice that's over 2 nights, particularly because those programs have also grown significantly. Can't do it in one night, they don't fit the gym. Moving on to the 17th, we have our FFA banquet in the high school cafeteria at 6:30. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting on the 19th. And then we're hosting another community relay for life at the high school stadium on the 21st. Band and choir at the high school on the 24th, we have band, and on 2 nights, the 26th and the 27th, we have our choir spring show. Next holiday, school holiday, will be Memorial Day on the 30th. And then 2 dates I'd like to point out in June. Thursday, June 2nd is officially the last day of this school year. And June 4th, Saturday, at the Joe and Harry Freeman Coliseum, hard to believe it's right around the corner, another graduating class of seniors will be presented. Anybody have any questions about any of that? Excellent.
Busy times.
Busy times.
Item B, personnel report.
Trustees, at this time, I'd like to call Ms. Phoebe Gonzalez up to the podium to give the board a briefing on this year's goals for our personnel department.
Thank you, Board, Mr. Bryant, Mr. Toscano, for the opportunity to speak to you this evening on the progress that the Personnel Department has made toward our goals this year. When Mr. Toscano and Mr. Selby came to us and asked us to start working on our goals, we had the task of looking at your goals to try to model our goals after yours. And so You have in your packet a brief one-page summary of what we've accomplished, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But I wanted you to recognize and see that we have modeled ours after yours in the areas also of productivity, culture and climate, and fiscal responsibility. So when we sat down to start looking at our goals and trying to decide what we were going to focus on for this year, we wanted to pick some goals that were measurable and that were going to be difficult to reach, and we did that. So you'll see in the first goal, productivity, we selected the goal of working with our substitute pool. The previous year, we had a substitute fill rate, and what I mean by fill rate is the ability to fill every spot that is vacated by a professional that requires a substitute during the school day. Our fill rate for 14-15 was 85%. So we wanted to improve that. We know how difficult it is at the campuses when they have teachers out and they don't have enough subs to cover all of the classes. Our goal, our lofty goal for this year was to meet the fill rate of 95% every day. Unfortunately, we have not yet met that goal. So that is a goal that you'll probably continue to see until we do reach the goal of 95%. I want you to know that we worked very hard on that goal. We tried to put some things in place this year, such as increasing our training for substitutes that we bring in. We do a monthly training, well, almost a monthly training. We have 7 trainings throughout the year to invite new subs in. We screen the subs and we train them. We did increase the training from a half a day to a full day. Some of the things that we had heard from our substitutes was that it was difficult to know what to do when they got to the campuses, to know how to handle the students. So the training that we increased was actually in handling student discipline. So Mrs. Sanders, my partner and personnel, who's going to speak to you in just a few minutes also, came up with the idea to increase the training to a full day and to focus on student discipline and student management. And we do think that has helped. We have increased our sub pool. From this time last year, when we ended the year last year, we had a little over 106 subs in our pool, and we have doubled that. By the end of April, we'll have about 214 substitutes in our pool for the campuses to utilize. With the extra training and the increased pool, we hope to provide additional training next year and to retain as many as we can to continue to add more to the pool. So another thing that we asked for consistencies, the substitutes did tell us that sometimes it was difficult knowing what to do when they got to the campus. So we asked all of our administrators to set up some protocols, some systems in place so the subs would know exactly what to do and what to expect at any campus that they were received, that there were going to be the same protocols, the same check-in system, the same way to discover where your lesson plans were, the same systems for if there's a fire drill, where do you find that? To kind of simplify the process and make the substitutes feel more comfortable. We expect to get some feedback from our substitutes with a survey towards the end of the year to see if they feel like that has helped. So increasing the training, increasing the pool, increasing the comfort level of the substitutes. We've also implemented, and you may have seen on our website some of the photos that we've put out there celebrating our substitutes with some of our campus principals and some of our district leadership team. Stellar Subs of the Month that is nominated. We asked for the principals, the administrators, to send in names for recognizing someone who's doing a fabulous job as a substitute. And we recognize that with a certificate and a photo on our district webpage. We also recognize every month the sub who's worked the most days. So we're working very hard on trying to put a culture and a climate together to where our subs, as Mr. Toscano says, we want them to feel like this is the place they want to work every day because we know they have choices. So even though we didn't quite meet our goal, we're going to continue to work on it. Our goal will remain 95, and we hope by the end of the year it's slightly higher than it is now. So that was the first goal under productivity. Our second goal under culture and climate, we know our task here in personnel and HR is to serve our community and to serve our campuses. Our first goal is always, what do the principals need? What do our campuses need? How can we help them? We know what our campuses are reflective of us, what they're telling us by surveys that we administer, and I am happy to report that on the survey that we sent out to our administrators, which scores the departments under the areas of customer service, communication, and cooperation, personnel scored the highest possible score in all 3 areas. We got a perfect score. And we know that's hard. We appreciate that, administrators. We know that's hard to accomplish, so we're going to continue to work at the highest level to continue to hopefully get a perfect score in that area. There is a second survey that will go out to the teachers later in April, and they will have an opportunity to also tell personnel under the umbrella of business and operations how we're doing for them. So we anxiously await those results of that survey, so hopefully we'll, again, score very highly under the business and operations department. And our last goal was fiscal responsibility. I want to take a minute to thank you for helping us and always supporting our budget through the personnel department. Our most expensive item usually is job fairs and travel, going all over the place, trying to recruit teachers. Our administrators join us on some of those trips. Sometimes it's just Mrs. Sanders and one of the principals that go, but it's costly and it's timely, and it's a huge investment. I will tell you, there's not a job fair when there's not a big crowd that East Central does not have one of the longest lines. We take that job very seriously. We're there, in our opinion, to attract the teachers, the potential teachers to East Central enough to where they will apply so our administrators will have access to them in their pool. So those were our goals for this year. Fiscally responsible, we want to be able to return a portion of our budget. We do think we're going to be able to do that, even though we've added a lot of programs under human resources and personnel in the forms of updating our application process, adding sections to our application process, which did cost us a little bit of money, but it also helps our administrators to really get a good look at a candidate through a personality inventory type instrument that is now on our applications. We're updating our systems next year for retaining information through T-TEST and T-PEST, the teacher evaluation system. We're also adding again, an online process for all applicants to hopefully smoothly, we're working through the kinks now, apply online and retain, make everything much more hands-off and paper-free, electronic. So we're consistently working on trying to update our systems and processes to assist our administrators and our community. The next slide will just just a summary. There's a lot on that slide and I'm not going to read it to you. I just wanted to familiarize you with some of the things that personnel does for our campuses. We want to be the go-to place when an administrator has a question, one of the first people that they call, or even our community members, anyone. And we do that. We feel like we are very responsive, and we make it a mission to, if we don't have the answers, find the answers for whoever calls us, for whatever it may be. I'm going to pass the mic over to Mrs. Sanders, who is our coordinator in personnel. She's going to talk to you a little bit about some of the anticipated changes for personnel for next year.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez, Mr. Toscano, Mr. Bryant, board members. Just want to talk a little bit about looking to the future for personnel and human resources for next year and probably for the next few years to come. So as Ms. Gonzalez mentioned, this spring we've really tried to move toward a more paperless system when it comes to processing our new employees. So what we've done is this spring with this last pool of substitutes, we have sent many of the payroll forms that they would normally come in and do in our office and spend at least an hour doing. We've sent that to them electronically so they can do that at their home, at their own leisure. And then that way all we have to do is just verify the information and then forward that on to payroll. So as Ms. Gonzalez mentioned, we've had a few kinks with that, but the company that we work with has been great with customer service, and so we've worked through some of those already. The plan is to continue to work on that as we start processing all of our new employees this summer, and hopefully all that will go smoothly. Again, as Ms. Gonzalez said, the plan is to continue to work on that goal of 95% fill rate with our substitutes and filling those jobs that come open on our campuses. We're going to continue to work on increasing our sub pool, screening our subs, and then try to get creative on how to ensure that those jobs get filled. That seems to be the kind of the trick right now is we can get them here, we can get them situated, but getting them to actually go out to the campuses sometimes and take those jobs is a little difficult. So we're going to try to find some ways to get our subs to get on those campuses. Again, moving on with the electronic, kind of going toward the electronic systems with the new evaluation system for teachers and principals, T-TEST and T-PEST. We're going to be looking at how we're going to house that system possibly and helping our campuses, our principals, and our teachers with that transition as this year progresses.
Finally, what we are hoping to continue to do is to provide our campuses with that timely customer service and continue with receiving those really nice evaluations that we get at the end of the year. And of course, we always are welcome to suggestions from our principals, and they're always very happy, I think, with our customer service, but they also will give us suggestions as well, so we'll take those anytime. Thank you all for the opportunity. Have a good evening.
Any questions?
Thank you, Steve, Yvette, trustees. Would certainly like feedback from you guys. As you're aware, this is a new process for us as we've had staff present their goal updates to you guys. And you know that we worked really hard to restructure the format of our goals and ensure that not only are they meaningful goals and they're measurable goals, but they're challenging goals, and that they're definitely aligned with the board goal and the performance objectives that you have adopted. You also hear a theme that we're asking for feedback from our staff continuously, because we want to make sure that our staff and our students and our community feel like they're well served, and we have a culture of continuous improvement. We know that we have room to grow, and growth is really our core business. And so every employee in this organization knows that we want to get better, and we're going to continue to do that. And lastly, to meet your goal of maintaining being really good stewards of taxpayer dollars, you see that there is a performance objective, not only at the district level, but at the campus level and at every department of fiscal responsibility. And that is consistent with what you guys have demanded for a very long time: conservative budgeting and fiscal stewardship. And so, again, looking for your feedback. If you'd like any of the format changed, if you'd like us to refine anything in particular, or if you like the direction we're headed, please let me know, and I'll relay that to staff. So, yeah, it's not too late.
Where you were talking about streamlining the process that assists the substitutes with becoming familiar with the procedures district-wide. Is that, like after they do that, after they get that assistance, how do they get that, first of all?
Well, what we asked is really for the campus level, that when they receive a substitute, that we were hearing from they have a protocol sheet. And so there's processes. I should let Ms. Sanders handle that.
So basically what it was is we did receive feedback from campuses and really looked at where there was a lot of consistency among the campuses. And so we just we put together a protocol, sent it out to the campuses, really just wanting to make sure that everybody was in agreement and that it was something that was doable and wasn't going to produce more work for the secretaries or whoever was reading those substitutes in the morning. So it's like I said, it's a protocol. It's very step-by-step. They make sure that if they need keys to get into the room, they make sure they sign in and they log into there's an iPad there that they have to sign into. Making sure that they're familiar with lesson plans, knowing where the restrooms are, where do you eat lunch, and all those types of things. So that way the sub is familiar with that as they go campus to campus, and it's not different as they go from campus to campus. There's some consistency there. So they know if they go to one elementary school, they go to an intermediate school, they go to a middle school, it's all the same.
So I guess what I'm asking is, as far as the procedure, and you have like a sheet.
Yes.
Is there something like when they're in the process of substituting for the day and they, is there a reference guide or a quick access if they have a question real quick that they excel in the classroom?
Right. The campuses usually have like a partner teacher that they would say, okay, if you need something, there's a neighboring teacher that you can ask a question to. Usually the teachers, if they know they're going to be out, leave very detailed lesson plans so they know how the day is supposed to progress. Of course, sometimes you have emergencies and teachers, for whatever reason, can't leave something. But to speak to that as well, the teachers should leave an emergency plan in case that happens. Is that help? Okay.
Let me ask you one question for you. If a teacher has to leave during the day for some emergency, like you said,
yes,
how is that class covered?
So those are a little bit difficult. So sometimes what the campuses have to do is they have to make accommodations within that campus. They may have to pull, unfortunately, an instructional aide to help cover that class. if the substitute can't be found. If it's early enough in the day, our clerk, Ms. Leos, will help call substitutes that aren't working and say, can you help, and then sometimes we can find somebody to cover that.
So we don't have like a sub that's on standby on campuses, no?
We don't. That's something that I actually had written down on my to-do, because thinking maybe about having like an emergency list of subs.
So when you say you own about 89% of those, I guess, substitute rate, what, does that mean we don't fill all the substitutes for that day? I guess I'm trying to understand. So what do you do with those other positions that aren't filled?
So if they're not filled, just like I was explaining to Mr. Mulkey, we have to, unfortunately, we do have to pull our instructional aides, and we do make an effort to contact subs. On our system, we can send out what's called a web alert, and kind of alerts all the subs that aren't working, we need you, help us out.
Gotcha.
So Ms. Gonzalez, one of the things that would help me would be to know what percentage of surveys you're having returned.
Okay.
Wonderful to put the surveys out, open-ended type questions that aren't softballs being thrown at people. But what percentage of those surveys are being returned to you so that we can tell that you're getting a good sample back? And if it's a critical survey, maybe we can assist you in getting 100% back. So,
Mr. Toscano did accuse me of filling out the survey myself.
Different handwriting.
Okay, we can do that, Mr. Bryan.
yeah, it's always easy to say, well, if you didn't tell us, we can't give you increased service, but it's still always nice when you take the time to produce a survey is to get some of that information back from folks. So, if you wouldn't mind including those, that would be really helpful for me.
So sample size of the surveys, percent of those returned. All right, in your electronic packet as well, trustees, page 12 to 25, you'll see a listing of all of the recommendations for professional contracts next year. So either multi-year or single-year contracts for district level, campus level leadership, as well as teachers, professional educators. You'll see that entire list, again, from page 12 to 25. And if there's any additional information that I could provide you regarding any of those, I'd be happy to do that. And of course, as always, we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about that information.
Any other questions on personnel? We move on to update 104.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. In your electronic packet as well as in your miscellaneous packet, you have a copy of Update 104, the vantage points, which you normally prefer, condensed to the point. Again, when TASB puts these updates out, they do not address legal policy. Your job is to look at how those legal policy changes may influence local policy. And so in your vantage points, you'll see those amendments there with the original language stricken out for your review. This is for you to review between now and next month's regularly scheduled meeting. We'll bring this back to you for consideration at that time.
So as you peruse them this month, if you have any questions about anything, please get over to Mr. Toscano and we can have those answered prior to the meeting. And we have voice over internet protocol and phone system.
Yes, sir, trustee. Another piece of information I wanted to bring to your attention. The district wishes to seek proposals to convert the district's phone system infrastructure from traditional landlines to voice over IP. Voice over IP is going to allow the district to access many functions that are not available through a traditional phone system. This is a trend that we are seeing in surrounding school districts as well as businesses. Some phone systems in our district are 15 plus years old and they're in need of pretty serious upgrades. Although the expected value of this project will exceed the $50,000 threshold, this project is not considered a construction project per board policy. Therefore, action is not required to approve the project delivery contract award method that will be used for each voice over IP project site by site. But although the board is not required to approve a delivery method. Staff is seeking input from the board on this matter. And if we go forward on this issue, the district will use a competitive sealed proposal method of delivery for procuring a voice over IP system. Also in your miscellaneous packet is another green document that gives you an idea, it's front and back, give you an idea of the features associated with a voice over IP. And of course, many of you in your place of business are familiar with a voice over IP system as opposed to a traditional landline, but fundamentally it does significantly increase access and connectivity between staff and among staff, but also from staff to citizens in the community. Really increases safety in a lot of ways and certainly communication exponentially. So again, we're seeking your feedback and input regarding this plan going forward. The staff has been researching this for over a year, and at this point, the recommendation from staff my way is that we need to take this into serious consideration, and we're ready to consider moving forward again with your input.
The only question I might add at this point is a failback. With internet doesn't always go down, but sometimes it does. So I know in our environment we have a couple of key phones in certain locations that are still down.
We still have some copper line phones, old traditional phones, particularly in the round where fax machines are. Yet the fax machines can work off of the internet line, but it's better to go ahead and use that. Still going to have copper lines for the elevators and things along that line. So yes, we'll have some backup systems there.
Okay. Police department, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Super. Thank you. Any other questions? If not, again, as with the update 104, if you have any questions during the month, please get hold of Mr. Toscano's office. All right. Moving on to our action agenda. Do we have any need, Brian? You do not. Okay. We're going to postpone item A this evening, and I'll take that up. Item B is proposals for asphalt project.
Sir, Mr. President, trustees, as you'll recall, the district has been planning to repair several asphalt areas across the district, particularly Pecon Valley, John Glenn, and ECISD. At this point, the district's received proposals for those projects, and I'd like for Mr. Selby to take just a minute to brief the board regarding the tabulation of those proposals.
Mr. Toscano, board members, as you can see on page 55 and 56 of your board book, we have the agenda item for proposals that were received by the school district for asphalt projects at Pecon Valley Elementary School, John Glenn Elementary School, and East Central Development Center. We submitted these competitive seal proposals out to the market and received 2 proposals back, and the tabulation of those proposals is attached on page 56 of the board book. In evaluating the proposals that were submitted, we've worked with both of the companies before. Both of them have provided quality service. The big deciding factor was price. The price coming in from R.L. Rohde was significantly less than that coming in from Clark Asphalt Paving Company. And as a result of that, staff is recommending R.L. Rohde general contracting need for the asphalt projects at those campuses. The proposed cost is $379,706.20. The scope of that work will be at each location is to go in and do any patchwork that's needed on the asphalt and then do seal coat and restriping. There will be a little bit, we are proposing to elect an ad alternate that was part of those proposals for some work across from John Glenn, what is considered part of the high school parking area, but it's really the public parking that's out along Stewart Road there in order to repair some bad spots there and also seal coat and restripe that so that we don't have further problems in that area. Pecon Valley is going to have a little more extensive work. The main drive coming in will be pretty much all replaced, and most of the rest of the area will be just small patches, but mostly seal coating and restriping there. ECDC is really just some small patchwork and seal coat and restriping. And this is part of an ongoing process that we began and are trying to systematically do some replacement and maintenance on those asphalt areas throughout the district, and this is just a continuation of that plan.
Jim, I know you don't have any control over it, but you only had 2 bidders on this?
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of asphalt work going on now.
There's a lot of competition right now, and in particular in the summer, we're going out on a proposal now so that we can actually lock in somebody for the summer, but there's an awful lot of really large projects going on out there, and there's just, we contacted, besides doing the legally required posting in the paper and all the other stuff, we did submit requests out to a number of companies, and had a number really looking at it, but the reality was that they just had too much already on their plate, and this is considered a small project compared to what they have available in the market right now. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I don't really recall, have the booklet and everything about what we're doing at each campus in regard to the bond and all the work. This traffic loop at Pecan Valley, is that something that's going to be disturbed when we do work over there? Or is that going to play in with all the new?
Sure. Good question. The additional drive leading out of Pecan Valley would be a part of the bond and would be just tying into this existing asphalt. What we're doing here won't be damaged or impeded by the bond work. But it's at a point where if we don't go ahead and do some work at Pecan Valley now, it'll continue to deteriorate and be even more expensive to repair and replace. So it will coordinate with the bond program if that passes, and it will, but it also is just something prudent that we should be doing.
Any other questions? No, we're ready for you, Mr. Toscano.
Sir, trustees, I recommend board approval of R.O. Rohde General Contracting Incorporated for the asphalt projects at Pecan Valley Elementary School, John Glenn Elementary School, and East Central Development Centers at a proposed cost of $379,706.20.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent. Chair will entertain a motion. We have a motion by Ms. Presses to accept the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a second? We have a second by Ms. Barrientos. Any other questions? If not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to the consent agenda. Does any board member wish to pull an item from the consent agenda? If not, Chair will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. We have a motion by Mr. Massengale. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Ms. Barrientos. The consent agenda is approved via unanimous consent. Before we move on to adjournment, Mr. Toscano, do you have anything? No, sir? All right. We appreciate all of y'all being here this evening, and we also appreciate Heritage for bringing those wonderful students to us and for the opportunity to meet the 2 newest members of the East Central family, and look forward to a really, really great spring. Lots of stuff going on, lots of changes. It's nice to be here. That's great. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion by Ms. Presses. Is there a second? We have a second by Ms. Barrientos. We are adjourned. Thank you.
That's true.